Speaking of horrible decisions, we're going to move into our last topic of the show for you guys. We do have one more topic, so if you guys follow us over on Patreon and support us there, we're going to cover backwards compatibility and bad decisions around that. So you just have to follow us for $1 a month to get that exclusive content over on Patreon. For now, this was another West one, and it was a good ass call because this was a dumbass device.
Look, man, I found enjoyment in it. I really did. It was
You did.
it was
Aquaman.
stupid. It was dumb, but you love that game. It was it was a head scratcher for sure. But on the gaming side, I can respect for what it was trying to do.
I mean,
And what are we talking about?
the Nokia N-Gage.
That's right.
So this was a cell phone gaming console hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And let me put this out there just for you guys that are younger too, because if anybody's like, I don't know. I don't even know what the cutoff is anymore. I've lost track of all that shit. It doesn't matter. But if you grew up with a cell phone that had a full screen, you don't know anything about what we're talking about right now. Nothing.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Because cell phones back then were flip phones
Mm-hmm.
where you can call, text, and maybe, if you were lucky, you got Snake on there or something like that. That's what you had. And Nokia was like, "Oh, we got to get more games. This Snake game is huge. We got to get more games on our cell phones," which was smart. Yeah, that would definitely help them. But there was a few problems with the good old N-Gage, Wes.
One, it looked like a taco.
It looked like a taco. And why would you want to hold this thing up to your ear?
It was very awkward looking.
This is at a time when cell phones were shrinking. Like companies that were making cell phones during this time, they were going out of their way to make flip phones as small as possible. Now you have Max phones that are like, half a tablet and stuff.
Yeah.
But back then that was not the case. Everybody was getting smaller. And then Nokia is like, we're making a giant taco that you hold up to your ear if you want to make a phone call. But it will play games.
It will play games. And the games were these little memory card games. They
look kind of like DS or Switch games or something, sort of.
Yes, exactly. But they had a lot of good stuff. They had Tomb Raider. They had Tony Hawk. They had Splinter Cell. They had, I want to say, a WWE, WWF wrestling game. They had some decent stuff. So the attempt was there. Like I said, I can respect the game because they tried to be different. They tried to be innovative. They tried to be creative. But it didn't catch on. They were trying to go after the Game Boy market, really. The Game Boy. I'm trying to see. Was it the Game Gear also at the time? I'm not sure.
No, Game Gear was dead by then.
This was long
GBA,
before then.
This was GBA SP era.
Okay. Yeah, it was. So they were trying to capture that, but it didn't catch on. I mean, Matt, you remember selling them in the store, and then after they bought it, we had to tell them to go down the hall to T-Mobile to activate the service if you wanted to use the cell phone feature.
Yeah. Like, if you want it as a game console, here it is. Enjoy. Pop in your games, it'll work. You want to use it as a cell phone, you're in the wrong location. You need to go somewhere else. You can buy it and take it to them, and they'll activate it for you. This was just as bad as... This could be a whole nother topic. But Sony's decision with the PS Vita and making the 3G, because that's what was the big thing at that time, exclusive to AT&T. If you all don't remember, AT&T was trash back then. They're not that great now, and they were garbage back then. And they were like, oh, you want to use our 3G? It's got to be through AT&T. What?
That's right.
Why would you make that exclusive? Just make it whatever carrier you have, you can use. It doesn't matter. That's what they should have done. Not go to AT&T and buy a prepaid card and install it on your friggin' Vita. Get the hell out of here.
Well, and the N-Gage, you had to go to T-Mobile to activate the service. But the funny thing is, as much as we bashed the N-Gage, it didn't stop there because they gave us a second one, the more compact little one
The
that did the same
QD.
thing. That did the same thing.
It didn't. It looked less like a taco.
It did. It really did. You
But
know,
the
I
other
still have.
problem was
I had both of mine. That's
the other
funny.
problem with the system though was the controls were weird. Just weird, man. A GBA had like A B
Mm-hmm.
or L, start
Mm-hmm.
select, and a
That's
D
it.
pad.
That's
This
it.
thing had because there has to be numbers because it's a cell phone. It had all sorts
Cell
of crap
phone.
on it, just crap everywhere, and then a weird D pad.
Yep. Yep. I wish I was in Nokia's boardroom when when they came up with this idea. Like I said, I can respect the game, man. I really can. But
Like I said, it was a good idea because their cell phone games were really popular at that time, and they were trying
mhm.
to. They had the right idea at the wrong time. If they had just waited a few years for like iPhones to come out, they could have just developed stuff for that. Instead, after the QD, after their hardware failed, they started installing it was called N-Gage 2.0 into
Mhm.
their other phones, which is basically like a platform where you can play games through, which was a much smarter idea. But even that didn't stick around.
Nah, nah. It just unfortunately it just never caught on the mainstream. It definitely wasn't catching up to the Game Boy, to
Most of
the
those games
SP.
just sat there in our store, man. We hardly ever sold an N-Gage. Even when that thing got clearanced out, I remember looking at all the sealed games and the sealed systems and just being like,
Yeah.
garbage. Can we throw this away now? Like I wasn't not interested at all in those games could have been $1. And I'd be like, I'll save my dollar, I'll go get a cheeseburger or something.
I mean, I remember selling quite a few early on because the true gamers wanted it because it was a game system. At the end of the day, it was a game system.
True.
Um,
True.
you know,
But I had a
we saw,
GBA, dude.
yeah,
I cannot look you in the eye West and be like, your N-Gage is better than my GBA. There's no way. No
no,
way.
no, definitely not. But if you already had a GBA and you wanted to collect something else, that was the
Dust?
option.
You want to collect dust? I'm sorry, I had to throw that shade.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of N-Gage photos and videos in here so you can see the cash that we're talking about.
Yeah, like I said, I have both mine. I have my original, and bad enough, I got my
Oh,
wife one. Oh yeah, man. So I wound up buying a his and her N-Gage. Well, EB gave us one, and then I wound up getting one because my wife liked mine because my wife likes technology. So I definitely didn't use it to talk on. Well, it came with a little microphone, the little headphones that you could plug in, so you didn't look like an idiot walking around with a taco on your face.
certainly.
But I remember going to E3. I mean, they had a huge, huge area for just to showcase all their upcoming games. I mean, they were pushing it hard. They had the top notch Ubisoft. They
And
had
Splinter Cell
Activision. They had a lot of support as far as games. But
initially, initially, but it started to
yeah,
fall off.
it did. It did start to fall off.
All right, guys. So we hope you enjoyed this special episode for Halloween, the most horrific video game decisions of all time. We might do this again. This might be a recurring segment we jump back to because I had a lot of fun doing this, Wes.
I did too, man. I did too. Just reliving all these horror stories. Oh man, it was actually kind of fun.
It's fantastic. If you guys haven't, please go follow us on social media at Nerdthusiast. You guys can follow Wes. I forgot to give him the shout out earlier on as well as myself. But Wes, where can people follow you if they want to?
You can find me on Instagram at Grendel5XBX. And if you are ever in South Jersey, Atlantic City area, you can catch me at Level Up Entertainment, where we sell comic books, retro video games, Gundam models, and pinball.
I'm Matt. You guys can follow me at from NJ2CA. The two is the number two. Please consider supporting us over on Patreon. Everything you guys do there goes right back into the company. It really helps us out. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. So please consider doing that. And until next time, you guys take care.
Have a good one, guys.
Happy Halloween.